I really hope that today turns out to be a fun day, because I have a lot of spare Ultra Beast, and the question is, are these Pokemon of any value in Pokemon Home? Because maybe people are looking for them. Maybe they need to complete their national dex because they sat out of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or they only got Pokemon Sword and Shield, or just general collection of rare Pokemon. But the thing is, in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you can mass farm them, and it's not really that difficult. Remember this live stream? I had a blast. Just 3 hours of getting all the Pokemon that you just saw, and it was only a few days after Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, so it wasn't really that difficult. It's not like you have to grind up to get to this point. Just do a lot of Warp Ride, get Legendaries, get Shinies, get Ultra Beasts. But the thing is, does that devalue them, or are people still looking for them? It's also like version exclusives, different Rarity, or not Rarity, different Rarity. As you can see, Guzzlord is like a 1% chance, so it's going to be pretty rare, but let's see what we can get with some of these guys. So I'm going to hop on over to the mobile version, use the GTS, and see what Ultra Beasts are worth. Now, I am going to have to be careful with this, and I probably should have tried to organize them back when I was on the Nintendo Switch, because I have a couple of these competitive. Like, I know I have a competitive Pheromosa somewhere, Buzzwole, that was a really nasty Pokemon. So these Pokemon were really desired, and they were usable in VGC. Almost every one of them got some kind of competitive use at one point or another, and that means there's a lot of them, but the question is how many people put into it, and what's going to happen. So let's see. Yeah, let's check the summary of some of these guys. Hopefully I can just kind of see. It's like, I don't think there's anything special about it. As long as it's level 60, has a bad moveset, maybe whatever on the ability. Like, that's a good usable ability, and people can see the ability on the GTS. So that just kind of makes the Pokemon more desirable. So yeah, let's deposit this circuitry. It's my most common, but I'm going for it, guys. I'm going to see if I can get Zamazenta. I got Pokemon Sword version, you know? So I don't have that Shield Legendary. We'll see if anyone puts up for it. Like, that'd be pretty crazy. And that means I'm going back into Pokemon Ultra Moon. I'm going to farm and farm and farm, because you can also get the legendaries, but that's one each. These are repeatable. Also, I'm going to put up a Guzzlord for Zamazenta, because this is the rare one. This is like the 1% encounter. It's also a pretty tough battle. And the thing is, you can also check by tapping on this. So you get the judge feature and all that. So I can see if I have any like effort values put into a Pokemon. That way I don't accidentally put out like one I was planning on making competitive or something. There's also a weird thing where I think like Hyper Train is bugged right now, and it kind of like deletes Hyper Training from Pokemon Bank or something. But overall, that looks pretty good to put up. And even with a bad nature, like the timid nature or something, yeah, even, ooh, that's actually pretty nice. It tells you all these cool little stats. So even with the timid nature, you can always just use a mint now. So if these Pokemon become available with the Isle of Armor, with the Crown Tundra, or we have to wait until like the reversed world on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, these Pokemon will still be usable competitively. Like, you just need the base Pokemon, you mint it, you Hyper Train it, EXP candies or whatever, and then it's going to be pretty good to go. So let's deposit this bad boy, and Zamazenta again. I think the big ones are also Stakataka. You only get a few of those opportunities, and Blacephalon. Like, those aren't repeatable, so those are valuable kind of on a legendary level. We're going to see how people value their legendaries. There was the Year of Legendary Pokemon. There were all the mythical Pokemon events. I don't think anyone's going to give me a mythical Pokemon for one of these Ultra Beasts, but we can see. I'll put up like a Nihilego. Yeah, that hasn't gone yet. I'm expecting that, but what happens if we just let it sit for a day? Maybe we'll get like some kind of weird trade to go through. Now that's a little fancy. So it looks like you can't put up mythical Pokemon. I think like Gigantamax and stuff. Some of my Snorlax won't go through. But yeah, so special Pokemon can't be offered for trade, which means that there's a lot of people clogging up the GTS with the normal GTS garbage. It shouldn't let you like, the GTS is always broken in that way. It shouldn't let you ask for a Pokemon that can't even be put up, like Meltan and stuff like that. So that seems to be an issue. And I think since we have a lot of Pheromosa, we can also just put up a Nihilego. Check the summary of this one, make sure it's good. But now it's like, alright, what do I do? Because at the same time, these Pokemon are kind of rare and kind of valuable, but also kind of common, and I have a lot of them that I don't really care about. So I just have like the trade fodder. I could trade one of these for another one. So Nihilego for Buzzwole, Pheromosa for... No, it's Pheromosa and Buzzwole, Nihilego's universal, and then Kartana is another version exclusive. So let's see if I can do a common one like Nihilego for a less common one like Kartana, and that's definitely not how you spell Kartana. And we can kind of see like how these work out. But yeah, like it'd feel kind of a waste even if I did this for an Ice-Q. Ice-Q is pretty rare, and I would definitely get that trade almost instantly. So you could put up some of these more rare Pokemon to help fill out the decks. But it's like, yeah, there's almost nothing on par with the value of an Ultra Beast. It's not like you can ask for only 6 IV Pokemon, only like special rare Pokemon and stuff. So I'm just going to let these guys sit for a while. I wasn't expecting any instant trades, but maybe. I'm also trying to not scumbag and just fill it up with, like, more impossible, ridiculous trades. Like, what's the... a legendary Pokemon for an Ultra Beast? Now, there's a lot of worse people out there asking for, like, Mewtwo for Litten, or Litten for Mewtwo or something. So, we'll see if we get any cool update from this. While waiting, I got a Rowlet from the Wonder Box. Just goes to show there are good people in the world, and if you need just a little bit of faith in humanity restored, here it is in your video. And a Mudkip, yo! Wonderbox is broken, and I don't mean like bad broken, I mean like good broken. I guess people that have the million Breejects, they're finally able to put it in, and instead of mass deleting, can go and throw it on the Wonderbox, so when the Wonderbox actually works, seems to be pretty OP. I can't believe it. 1.3 million Pokemon have been traded on Pokemon Home, and none of those have been a legendary for an Ultra Beast. It's been like this for 2 days, and I've also been mixing up my strategy, because more Pokemon Sword version have been sold, Zacian's more common, maybe someone out there is thirsting for Pheromosa because they don't care about the box legendaries. No Pheromosa, no Guzzlord. Stack-Attack is an interesting one, because what if I do Stack-Attack for Eternatus, for Zacian, for Zamazenta, or something crazy like that, and even that kind of feels weak, because it's a lot easier to get Eternatus, because you get Eternatus before the story even ends in Pokemon Sword and Shield, so technically, like, speedrunning it, dropping off into Pokemon Home, that's a possibility, and then you have to do the extra side quest to get the legendaries, and then just the Pokemon Sword and Shield legendaries are super cool. I don't see really any reason to give them up. Now, you ask me for almost any other Pokemon game, and I'll trade my legendary for a Pokemon I like more. Maybe not on the GTS, because you can't guarantee if it's like a competitive ready Pokemon or hacked or whatever, but even then, that's kind of crazy. But the fun thing about Stack-Attack, here's the trivia, guys. Stack-Attack is more rare than Eternatus, but people aren't going for it. So we know that over 16 million units of Pokemon Sword and Shield have been sold. Now, this is only up until December 2019, or, December 31st, 2019. So in the last month and a half, another 2 million units have likely been sold, just going off of, like, rough sales data and stuff. And then when we look at Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, that's only 8.7. So if we double that, because you can get 2 Stack-Attack per game, that's short of 18 million, and Stack-Attack is a version exclusive. So there's only probably, like, close to half of that. I think Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon sold roughly 50% of each other. So, I mean, there's, like, less than 10 million Stack-Attack and or Blacephalon, and then there's close to 20 million Eternatus out there, with Eternatus being an easier Pokemon to get. And people still won't trade it. So let's get a little deeper here. What happens if we search for a Zacian or a Zamazenta? Are these trades, not Zams, are these trades even possible? And now I'm reminded why I was actually happy that the GTS wasn't in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I went, finally, because the GTS is absolute trash. It's cancer. I don't even know why people wanted it back. I don't even know why people are happy it's in Pokemon Home. I mean, look at this. Mythical Pokemon cannot be exchanged on the GTS. Everyone that's putting up their legendary Pokemon is putting up an impossible trade. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Where's, like, the Zamazenta for Lugia? Where's, like, some kind of exchange like that? It just doesn't exist. And if you take off the include mythical Pokemon and legendary Pokemon, Fion. Wow. So that would be, I guess, I guess maybe Fion can't even be exchanged either, because that seems like a more doable one, because just Manaphy breeding, you can actually get a lot of Fion, so that's an impossibility. And now let's get an idea of what my Ultra Beasts are worth. But kind of like I said, they're in their own weird bubble, so Pheromosa seems to be the more common one. Just from, and also you can get a lot of Circuitry. Buzzwole, Blacephalon. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's thinking he's going to get away with that. Unlimited Pheromosa, 2 Blacephalon. Less Blacephalon than there are legendary Pokemon from other games. Stack-Attack, the Ganadel. Oh my god, that's Poipole. This is just degeneracy. This is pure degeneracy, and looks like Ultra Beasts are just straight worthless. I would imagine if you, like, ask for a regular Pokemon, maybe a hard to get trade evolution or something, you might get a bite on it, but since you can't really determine anything about like a Pokemon's IVs or competitiveness, you just can't get anything out of it. So yeah, Ultra Beasts are worthless, and all of this just angers me.